2 hours after this one takes off. Once the race finishes, the teams go back to their stations and they have about 5 minutes to get off the Pontiganza property, and then we'll have the girls section 1 athletes coming in. Once the gun goes off, you should see a clock go up in the corner of your screen, so you should be able to know what point in the race we're at as it's going on. Headliners in this race, as we said, Evan Reynolds, the Class A champ last weekend, and Jack McLaughlin, the Georgetown commit, who took second to him. And we are off. Faster seated section of the two here at the RIIL State Championships.
At this time, we ask that no one use the restrooms. They will be sanitized. Thank you.
You can see the top team LaSalle on the inside. Looks like immediately, just like last weekend, we got Jack McLaughlin and Evan Reynolds. We talked to Reynolds after his win, and he said his race plan coming in was to let Jack take out the pace, and he said Jack pushed it as hard as he could, and Evan just kind of hung in there and knew he could beat him in a kick if it came down to it. We'll see how that race strategy goes this weekend. Is Jack going to let him do the same thing, or is he going to be able to push it even harder, knowing that Reynolds is pretty fast down the home stretch? A lot of strong teams in Rhode Island this year, making the best out of this season. And the white, that is McLaughlin, and on the
Good job, Darius!
301! 301!
Good job, Darius!
304! 304! Tips! Good!
Good job, Jack! Good job, Pedro! Good job, Andrew!
Now they're going to do this big move over here.
Turn it up a little bit. Big kick up there. Get up with them. Come on, let's go. Real time. Let's do this. Keep strong, buddy.
Okay, I'm going to head down there. Thank you.
going back into the woods for a little bit of the race. It looks like it's broken down to 3 up front. I would be surprised if Evan Reynolds let Jack McLaughlin out of his sight unless he could not handle the pace. Seemed to be his plan last weekend and it worked. Not sure what different strategy he would use this weekend. So they'll come through this spot we're on right now again in a couple minutes for the mile. The first section came to the mile in about, I think it was 5:16. So it looks like a LaSalle athlete mixing it up with the top 3. That's different than how it started last week. Bishop Hendricken looked to challenge LaSalle. They had a really strong meet at Rogers earlier in the year, but LaSalle last weekend proved they were really strong at the class meet. Team battle between those two. It should be good today. Bishop Hendricken knows what they got to change going into the state meet, and it is a really big pack here coming down the middle of just outside of the track area. You see a lot of Bishop Hendricken and LaSalle guys up front. They know those are the guys they got to beat. Really strong teams this year from Cumberland, Carijo. North Kingstown has a good squad. They should be up in the mix at the top 5 programs, looking to hopefully get a 2nd place finish. St. Raphael's at a Class C has a very good squad this year too. They're going to hope to mix it up with the bigger schools from Class A here. So they'll be back in the woods. You can kind of
The
see
portable
tops of their
restrooms
heads.
are now ready for use again.
You can slightly see them through the tree line as they come through. They're 4:36 on the clock now. They should be up at the mile in about 15 seconds. You'll get a more clear view. You'll see all the coaches gathered around that area. You can see the flags on the infield waving pretty strong. It is a windy day. It's through the mile now. It looks like just under 5 minutes for the leaders through the mile. You can see the leaders kind of going through right here. They're gonna do a loop back in the woods. We'll have footage from that area on the archive video we'll put up later tonight. But it might be about 6 or 7 minutes till they pop back out for the finishing stretch. Of the McLaughlin and Reynolds, Chase Leach of LaSalle, Alex Maxwell of LaSalle, two seniors looking to have a really big final state meet. They come in as the 3rd and 4th seed into this second section. Evan McGregor, Bishop Hendricken, has run under 16 minutes as well as his teammate Ryan Dyer, who's run 15:56. And other than that, there's a lot of Bishop Hendricken and LaSalle up front. Then you have your 148 800 meter runner Darius Kipiego, who has run 15:56. All the runners are through this part of the course. You can see coaches kind of sprinting back into the woods, looking to see the athletes kind of as they come out and make a turn back, kind of repeat where they just ran on through the wooded trail. From this point of view on the course, it would look like everything's very flat, but there are some pretty big hills back in the wooded trails. So for what looks to be a fast course from the finish line area, it's tougher than it looks. LaSalle boys were very highly ranked in the mile split. National rankings came in ranked number 2 in the country this year. Likely would have been doing some damage at team nationals in a couple weeks. But we know what team nationals this year. Hopefully they'll get to showcase their talents at some postseason meets unattached from their school. Hendrick and likely be looking to join them at team nationals out of the Northeast region, but we'll have to wait another year. North Kingstown, Cumberland, Pareho Regional all come in pretty close together, vying for a top 3 spot in our virtual meet. All three have team averages about the same, all about 1630, 1640, so that could shake out any which way.
Opening over there. The last opening
one
was
that's on the downhill.
1.98. Huh?
It's the one that's the downhill that goes.
Well, the opening over there, the parking lot.
yeah, there's nothing.
Right after that, there's a little hill, and at the top of that hill is 2 on the bottom.
I got it.
That's good, dude.
Oh my.
Good job, Ev. Hey, great spot. Excellent.
Where is that?
Excellent. You're in great position. You're fine.
10:34. They're probably 10:10 at the 2.
Come on, Darius! Come on, Darius! Let's go! Come on, Darius! Let's go, Darius! Let's go! Let's go!
Troy, hey, let's start the move.
Let's go, Sadie!
Let's go, Sadie! Right off Bishop, come on!
Come on, Steve.
Ethan! John, here we go, baby. We got to come on, come on, come on.
Hey, CJ, you gotta move.
Let's go, Steve. Gotta move. Let's go.
3:29, good job! Come on, Jay! 35! Pedro!
Let's go! Jack and Pedro! Come on, Jason!
Stay going.
Come on, stay with them!
Jake next. Come on, Jake. Come on, Jake.
Come on, Warden!
Let's go. Push.
Let's go!
I'm leaving.
Come on in! Come on in!
Oh, wait, no.
Come on, Warren, you're running safe. Finish it up. Come on, Warren!
So you can see athletes coming back through. This is where they came through the mile the first time now. 12:33 on the clock. Looks like still 3, I believe, with Reynolds and McLaughlin is Jack Casey from LaSalle. I could be mistaken, but he had been running strong all season long. Looks like McLaughlin trying to push ahead of Reynolds. Reynolds kicked him down last week, trying to avoid that. So it should pop out right here. McLaughlin, you can tell through kind of looking through the trees, is pulling out ahead of Reynolds. We'll try to have a good idea of the team scores as I kind of come through this point. Is McLaughlin's lead big enough, and does he have enough left in the tank for the RIIL state title after losing the Class A title last week? They're running fast, just under 14 minutes on the clock. They're going to be well under 16, I believe, after this final loop. McLaughlin just looking to throw, he's throwing down right now. He's not leaving up to a kick like last week. He's created a big separation, and I don't think he's going to be caught at this point in the race. Reynolds trying to hold on for second over Casey. Georgetown commit Jack McLaughlin going to be your state champion. Gonna be under 15:30. He might run a personal best here. Reynolds creating separation. He's gonna take second. LaSalle's senior Jack McLaughlin, your RIL state champion, 15:26. Reynolds will outlast the LaSalle athlete for second, 15:35 to 15:36. Looks like we've got the 3 and 4 for LaSalle coming in. Oh, excuse me, that's Kip Yago of St. Raphael's. He's going to take fourth. He was your Class C champion last week, committed to Iowa State last night. We got LaSalle, then Hendricken, then I believe Holden Vaughn. I believe this is LaSalle's 5th. That's going to be a team title for LaSalle as well as the individual title with McLaughlin. Here comes, I think this is Hendricken's 5th and LaSalle's 7th. A lot of athletes coming in under 17. This is a fast seated section. $18:15 on the clock now as they come in. Complete result should be pushed once the final runner finishes up here on ri.milesplit.com. You can find it on the homepage from Wilbur Race Systems. It should just merge in with the results from section 1.